Hey y'all, hey. Welcome to Peaches and Pressure. I'm Peaches and tonight I have Quavo will be your host for this episode. We're going to go ahead and discuss a few things tonight. Thank you for joining us. So how you feeling tonight, Quavo?
I am A-okay. I'm doing all right.
So check this out. What are your thoughts on the Brittney Griner situation? Like we really exchanging a hardcore arms dealer criminal to get this bit back.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like she should have never been taken in.
You think so?
No, she had marijuana. But did she have other stuff?
But you know, marijuana is illegal over there. Like, marijuana over there is like us having some heroin and cocaine over here.
Did she have a lot of marijuana there?
With them, it's any.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, but I don't feel like she should have been...
detained for so long?
Yeah. They could have, like, held her and been like, hey, y'all need to come get her. But the whole fact of you having to exchange a prisoner for a prisoner,
nigga, arms dealer.
Really, like
international
he's
arms dealer.
He's on a whole different level.
Like,
but we know if that was, Kevin Durant or LeBron James.
Yeah,
or
we got
like
the first day.
Come on, man. Not standing.
We would have got back the first day.
Yes.
But it's just like, so for me, we're black. When we're traveling out the country, it's already dangerous for us. If you know that you going to a different country, first of all, we at war. Like, we're at war, and we're allies to the people that they're at war with, and you gonna go over there with some illegal stuff? Why would you? And you black. It's like two strikes.
Well, in Brittney Griner's defense, because WNBA doesn't make the money that the NBA does, most of those players over there go overseas in the summertime. Most of them. So
that's a fact.
Basketball be year round for them, and she does that. She's been playing in Russia for a couple years now, so that's normal for her. But it's just, I feel like she got held because of what's going on.
It's a combination. Like, in Russia they don't play about, first of all, black people. It's kind of like a no-no over there. And then, two, she's gay. They don't like that.
Yeah.
And then weed is like so controversial over there. Like, weed is like if you were to see somebody walking on the street right now and they pull out a meth pipe, you know how shocked you would be?
Yeah, I would be.
That's the equivalent of what weed is over there. And you gonna come with some weed while you're black and while you're homosexual? Like, you didn't and we're at war? Bro.
I mean, I'm with you 100%, but I wouldn't have thought about that either. I ain't even think about none of that just now. I ain't think about none. I just thought about, because of what's going on and because we're helping Ukraine, that's why they like, okay, well, we're going to get their ass. We're going to hold one of these stars. You got the wrong star.
We got a D-League star.
If you had LeBron James or you had Kevin Durant or somebody big, Damian Lillard or something like that, then it would have been, we got to get them out of there.
Same day. Same day. They wouldn't
have spent more than a week.
Same day. Like, I do feel like they're trying to make an example out of her. But at the same time, it's like, you got to be conscious. Like,
you got to remember, this is something she's done. She's been in the league probably about 6 years now, the WNBA. And she's been playing over there in Russia for them same amount of years. So this is normal, her going to Russia and back. It's just through these 6 years we weren't beefing with Russia to where we helping somebody that's, within their so-called country or whatever.
So you think maybe they let her slide before, but now they like, time to make an example out of her.
That's a possibility.
We're going.
I can't shoot that down. That's a possibility.
That would be wild if that is what they're doing. I know for a fact there's some kind of ulterior motive to it for her to be there for this long. But I just keep thinking like, girl.
She's been there many times. And if you don't think she ain't just started smoking weed.
She just got caught with it.
Yeah, she just got caught with it. But I wouldn't. The fact that they treat it like meth over there. I mean,
Bruh.
but my mama act like fucking marijuana is fucking cocaine anyway.
The devil's lettuce.
Yeah, I mean, she act like it's cocaine, and the shit is crazy.
Bruh,
I'm like, Mom, weed ain't that bad. No, it's not legal in Georgia, but weed is not that bad. Weed don't make me want to go kill nobody. Weed ain't ever made me want to rob a bank or no shit like that.
Never.
The only thing weed ever made me want to do is eat.
I'm happier.
That's it. Yeah, you gonna laugh about stuff that
Definitely handle situations differently.
I mean, you probably don't want to go to like if you're not someone who smokes regularly, you probably don't want to go to like somewhere like a funeral or something and be high, because that's gonna be the bad. You're gonna be laughing about shit that you're thinking about, and people
Like,
gonna be
dang, this nigga dead as hell.
right, and it's not gonna be something good at all. That's like,
Bruh.
But I mean, they got so many different strands of weed. I guess it just depends on what strand you smoke.
I feel like, I don't know what Russia's reasons are for having weed being such a strict drug over there, but like,
I think
it
it might
has a
just
lot
be
of
strict in
medical
general.
benefit. That's a fact.
But at the same time, most of their people over there do steroids. So it's like,
Really?
how y'all not worried about the syringe, but y'all worried about this plant they grow.
That plant that hey
That plant that just
might
happened to
be
grow
a
that
little
way.
deadly according to them.
It ain't deadly.
No, hopefully homegirl will come back. I just don't think we should be trading an international arms dealer for her. To me, like, I know her family want her back, but they have so many other repercussions with it.
Yes, it does.
And international, like,
Those
we don't
don't
have a
even equal
lower
up.
level.
He's so much higher
Bruh.
on the scale than she is.
We don't have a lower level trade option.
I think
Like,
it's just because he's Russian.
that's intense.
You know, most movies, when you think about arms deals, they normally be Russian. Or they be
That's
done fucked with Russia in some kind of way.
I don't know. It's really intense, bro. Hopefully she come back, and hopefully it's under safe circumstances. But like,
Right.
I guess.
I don't know. Stranger Things type shit. Because that's what they was at. They was in Russia. In this
So-
last season.
You know what I feel like? I feel like some of the stuff we watch on TV is a glimpse of what really happens, but they're trying to give us like easy, digestible sections of it, like to see how we'll react. Like, what if some of that stuff is actually going
When
on?
people ask me about aliens, I legit be like, bro, yes, I believe that there's aliens. There's something else on this planet that we don't know about. But I just feel like aliens is be when you start daydreaming. I feel like they just jump in your body.
Bruh, I'd be scared. They don't need to jump in me.
I'm like, have you ever been, I used to ask my homeboys, like, you ever been driving and been daydreaming but you didn't miss no turn or nothing like that?
That's why
You knew where you were going? I said, bro, they could have easily just been like, watch this, and jumped in your body.
But you know, the government just told us that aliens was real. I was on vacation when they said that. When they said UFOs was real, and then they changed the name to APUs. So that's a real thing.
Oh, I never doubted it.
Like, but we've seen it in so many movies.
Yep.
That people are so desensitized. Like, I was freaking out in the car. I'm like, they just said they real. Ain't nobody
Right.
swerving and stealing from grocery stores and nothing. Everybody was just like, yeah, I mean, whatever. We seen Independence Day. All right, y'all getting these eggs or what?
No, you ain't.
But that's wild. They real. Like, I don't know what they want to do.
But it's so many documentaries where you got people saying that they done talked to aliens before, and I mean, like,
I'm scared.
It's like legit. They was asking aliens question, and the alien was answering the question,
Right.
or whatever. I remember I was seeing this one thing, like, because you get on YouTube, you can go into just a deep rabbit hole.
Bruh, you do go off the deep end.
And I was watching this little advertisement that came up, and he was like, I asked the alien, do they have a soul? He was like, of course they have a soul. I'm like, nigga, what?
See, I'm
Like,
not
bruh,
comfortable with those kind of questions.
They probably like we could easily be walking past an alien at any time of a day.
Like Men in Black, where they pull the face down.
Just never fucking know. You just
There's
not.
some roaches in there.
It might not even be that. It might not even be that. They might just can be like shapeshift. They can just change into something else.
But I'm like, what do they want? That's my ultimate question. Is it to help us, or like slow us down. I just feel like it's such an unknown for them to just say it. And like I said, people so desensitized, they're not even caring. Like, nobody talk. Bro, they was releasing footage from the Pentagon of stuff that they've been hiding for years and years, and people never even blinked. Like, nobody said, man, you heard about them aliens yesterday? They said UFOs real. They changing the name to APUs.
But
y'all okay?
They don't make it a big thing. Like, they'll broadcast all this other stuff that don't really matter. But like, aliens, they probably just watching us and laughing.
Probably
like,
ashamed. Like, what the fuck they doing down there?
They don't fucking learn.
Look at them down there struggling. They got chicken pox and monkey pox.
Right.
Bruh. I feel like they releasing diseases based off financial changes. Or maybe they trying to eliminate certain classes of people, like older people or sickly people. Mm-hmm. How we get monkeypox, polio, COVID in 3 different strains, and we just supposed to be like, the disease just came out of nowhere. A mosquito brought it.
But they always try to blame that it came from Africa, though. I'm so sick of that.
I feel like,
bro, the world came from Africa.
I feel like they try to place that stigma on Africans and African Americans so that people can think lowly of us. Because
Africans
if you're thinking,
think lowly of us.
They do hate us, bro.
I moved the refrigerator at work. I delivered the refrigerator to a guy. He was Ethiopian. And I heard him talk about, man, black folks so lazy. I don't understand how they just making money.
Like, for real.
And I heard him, but I had headphones. I had a headphone in, but this one wasn't in. I heard him, but I just didn't say anything. But I mean, they also programmed to the white folks to tell them that we're lazy.
I wonder,
when white folks always had the upper hand on us.
It shouldn't be. And you, like you said, I met a few Africans in my lifetime. Only like 1 or 2 that were super cool, but they were Americanized because they were in school with us.
Right.
But ones that come fresh from here generally don't like us. They have the same stigma that white people put on us. Mm-hmm. And I think that's so messed up because
of what they're told.
Bruh, if we were...
They only show us the bad parts of Africa.
That's so wild. Meanwhile, they got skyscrapers and cars that we never seen before, electricity
Africa
that we
is
don't
the
even
richest
use
soil
and
on
stuff.
the planet. And it's the biggest continent, whether they want to say that Asia is or not. Asia is not the biggest continent.
It's not. Definitely.
Even though you look it up, it's going to say Asia.
How they have the
Asia.
pictures depicted.
It is Africa. You know how many countries? Africa has over 100 countries in it.
I just hate that we're at a division with each other. African Americans, Africans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, all of our displaced black people, if we were to get together and unify, that would be such a big thing.
You're all black.
But it's like they take what most white people say to them
and take it for
to
face value.
uplift them and put down black people in a different area. When if you looking at me and I'm looking at you, if I'm from Cuba and you from Africa, but we the same skin, what's the difference?
Man.
It's like a mental gymnastics that they try to do to keep us divided. That's really the plan.
Man's working.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's working like a motherfucker.
It definitely, and it's sad because we could be so far ahead.
But you gotta understand, every time we built something, they burned it down. Just think about it. Every time we built something and it wasn't to where they wasn't involved, they burnt that shit to the ground.
Right, the fact that we're the majority and we're called minority is crazy to me. That's crazy. I feel like every single solitary euphemism or wording that they use to describe us is meant to be derogatory. Like, bro, you call us minority, it's more of us than you.
But that has to do with this.
Black dollars, we spend more money than any other race, though.
We don't make the most money, though.
Let me ask you about this before I forget. Did you see the thing where the black woman took her little girl to Disney World and the Rapunzel was ignoring her?
Yep.
What's your thoughts on that situation before I get into what I feel about? What's your thoughts on that?
I'll cut her hair. I don't.
Dang.
Have you seen the one where it was the Toy Story and they was marching and Woody was like, hey, over here, you got some fans over here calling. But it
got
some
lighter complexions.
Then again, you both when it's you. Now Rapunzel had no what you call it. Woody and what you call it, she was walking on the other side.
Yeah.
So, of course, Woody could hear because he's closer. Right. So, and you got a lot of people yelling, so you don't really know where it's coming from. But at the same time, Woody went out. Whoever the person is in the Woody, he went out his way to, hey, you need to come over here and say that because you don't want everything is filmed. Yeah. You don't want nobody to feel neglected. You always want to make, especially the kids. You want the kids to feel special. So even though we don't know that, we thinking that's the real Woody and all this stuff until the head pop off.
You know what was crazy to me about that situation, bro? I don't know if you know, but Disney World and Disneyland tickets like $400 a piece.
They are high ass,
bro. I feel like the mother was like, no, I demand her do this and I demand her do that. To me, I'm not begging you to take my money. Mm. If you ignore my child, if you don't want to service my child at this establishment, I just want my money back.
For sure.
I don't want to force you to interact with my child because that's really, I'm making your pockets fatter and you're still ignoring my child. Like it serves no purpose. I feel like a lot of establishments don't like black people but still get our dollar. If we were to just draw back on that, like, oh, wow. Let me use I'm going to use Disney since this happened at Disney. Okay, Disneyland don't like black children. They don't like to appease to the black client. Okay, let's all take our black dollars and not go to Disney. You know how much money they would lose?
I would lose a lot of money because people love to take their kids to Disney.
Bruh.
I was a kid who got taken to Disney when I was a kid.
Bruh.
I remember seeing pictures with the little Mickey Mouse.
You ain't see our mental place. We done went to Disneyland, Disney World. We was gonna go to Disneyland Paris, but I don't know if I like my kids like that.
I got her. I want to take her on the Disney cruise, but that shit's so expensive.
Bruh,
oh my god!
It definitely is. If at any given time or date that we went to Disney World, if I had some stuff like that happening, I'm gonna need that full refund. We done paid like $3,000 to sleep here. Let me get that back.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm not gonna force you to interact with me. I feel like it's so much power in our black dollars. Like if you look it up,
if we have the number one spending dollar, but there's still
period. We never
spending only, not incoming. We only
not earning.
We don't have the number one earning. That's why we're considered a majority. We're considered a minority,
which is even more of an issue.
If we take our money, which we probably won't ever do,
spend it with us.
But remember, every time we've done that, they burned it down or they flooded it. Because remember, you got
Black Wall Street.
You got Tulsa in 1921. Then you had
Lake Lanier.
Lake Lanier is a whole black city that was thriving. Black doctors, black pharmacists, all that. Flooded it with the people still in there. And then just put
cars
water
and
over.
Everything.
Yep.
Still under there.
That's why people die in there. It's only because it's sinkholes in there. It's not people come. It's not spirits coming back and grabbing niggas like, come here. No, because it's black people dying on Lake Lanier
facts.
too. So no.
Facts. If it's taking white people, like maybe that is an angry spirit.
It's definitely sinkholes down there, and you get pulled in a sinkhole, it's over with. There's nothing you can do.
My thing is, if spending it with each other is gonna make them do something to cause us not to be able to do it, just hold on to it. I would rather sit with my $400 instead of giving it to Disney World, knowing they don't like me, knowing they don't like my. I hold on to it until it grow interest before I give it to. It was something like this that happened in downtown Atlanta. I think it was a restaurant. It was a steak restaurant where they denied the man because of his dress code, but it was somebody there with the same exact thing on, but it was white, and they let him in. That man protested so hard and so loud on social media and all that stuff so that they could let him in, versus saying, okay, they don't want my money. Let me not make these people richer. Let me go home and cook a steak or go to an establishment that welcomes me.
Right.
I feel like that's so bizarre. So bizarre that we beg people to take our money that don't want to deal with us.
A lot of times We just want to be accepted. But you try so hard. That's why I think it's so weird when people be talking about code switching.
Facts.
You do not have to change the way you talk just to talk to a white person. Just because you have a strong country accent, just because I talk with proper English does not mean I talk white.
That's so ignorant. I hate when people say that. Like, if I'm speaking intelligently, or if I'm enunciating all my words, like my little people be doing, that means I talk white. So they've associated intelligence with only being white. Like, oh, you're black, you can't be intelligent.
It's been pushed that only intelligence is white.
So crazy.
It's been pushed that. You got to think about it. They told us in the Constitution that we live by. That should say we are
half.
We are 1/3 of a human.
Damn, less than half? Wow.
1/3 of a human.
Wow. That's intense. That's intense.
And people, my brother-in-law was about 2 weeks ago was talking to my little brother, and we was talking about racism. He said racism is not about you not liking someone because of their color. He said racism is power.
Straight up.
Racism is power. It has nothing to do with your color. I don't have the power to be like, you can't be here because you're this way.
You can't make this much because you're this.
Right. He said, but they have the power to do that. They have the power at the bank. No matter what your credit score is and all this other stuff, they can still deny you.
Facts.
You and a white person can go to a bank and try to get a loan, have the same credit score, and that white person will get approved and you'll get denied. It's just that easy. You have to understand that the very, very rich, the richest of the rich, which is the ones who are owners of the Federal Reserve, which is like the family, like the Rockefeller family.
Talk to them.
And all that. It's about 13 of them though, and they're all white families.
And keep it in the family.
Yeah, they don't. That's another thing. We don't keep stuff. We got people now that's doing it and setting stuff up for their kids, because I feel like with each generation, we should be just trying to be better than the last generation.
And leave something behind.
Yes, you want to leave something behind. So that way your kids can pick up on it, and you make life a little easier for them.
Thanks.
So if I started in a 6 foot deep hole, I don't want my daughter to start in the 6 foot deep hole.
I at least want her to be 3 or 2
level,
feet,
I want her to be on level ground.
That's crazy.
I want her to be on level ground. She should be able to come into some money, like a lot of these white folks do. They come into money a lot.
It's so many things that we as a black community are not taught with financial literacy, life insurance, stocks, bonds, real estate, things like that. A lot of Caucasian counterparts set up life insurance policies and trust so that when they die or when they pass away,
right back to the trust, and
their kid is elevated. They don't have to start from the bottom.
Whoever's associated within that trust can just
get that
take
money
from that trust,
start from there. They're not starting from 0. They at least starting from 50 on a scale of 0 to 100.
Exactly.
How many conversations do you think in your lifetime that you have heard or had about life insurance or stocks and bonds?
I hear more about it as an adult.
Now.
It's too late now. Well, it's not too late, but I wish I would have known this earlier.
If they're knowing it at 10 or 15 and we're learning it at 32, we so behind the curve.
Guess what that means we need to do? Teach it at 10.
I don't understand.
Well, it's hard because it's hard to teach something you don't understand. So what it is our parents only could teach us what they know.
Facts.
So we take what they taught us, then we learn some stuff and we teach the same thing.
Apply a little bit more to it.
Right, but if we're not learning about all this different stuff, because we all, at the end of the day, would just love to have money.
Facts.
I would have loved to have came into some money. Like,
facts.
If a lot of people just graduate college because they know if they graduate college, they get this money. Doesn't matter what you went to school for. Because just think about all the people that have degrees and don't even have a job in the field that they have a degree in, which I think was a whole waste of time.
That's another thing that they don't really talk about. Like back in the day, if you look this up, if y'all want to look it up, we used to be the main proprietors of like trades, like plumbing, carpentry, stuff like that. Trades, things that didn't need college degree. Black people cornered the market. Black people and Hispanics, right? Now more so than ever, they drill into us college. Trades was something that paid you while you learned your craft.
Right.
And when you got out, you could work for yourself
Right.
or work for somebody and not be in a hole. But now you hardly hear anything about them teaching kids trades. All you hear in high school when you're going to get out of it, or 11th, 12th grade, college. What degree do you want? Like, they don't give them the option of both. And now, I won't say it's a lot of black people that are still into trades. Majority of them are Hispanic people.
But
right?
if you do have a parent that is within that trade, you learn that
That's
trade,
a
and that's
blessing.
always something you can fall back on.
That's a blessing.
I didn't have that. My dad was a sheriff for Fulton County for 26 years.
Oh,
My
wow.
mom still works for FedEx, but she's like an executive. What is it? I don't want to get it wrong because she's like, that is not what
Like,
my
boy,
title
you
is.
lying.
It's executive something. But still at the end of the day, because they don't pay, they just don't pay her enough.
Fact.
At the end of the day. But she does so much and knows how everything works there. And that's something she used to tell me, when you get into a job, learn everything you can.
Mm-hmm.
You take that and go somewhere else with it. So
Somewhere that pays your worth.
you'll
Period.
never be able to get your worth for your pay
Period.
unless you're working for yourself.
Period.
Because
bro.
when you work for yourself, you set the cost.
Facts.
Getting hired by somebody and you work through a company, you'll never get the pay that you.
That's a fact.
Because I feel like with all the stuff I know how to do, I should be making at least $30-something an hour.
Right.
At least.
Right now, with the state of everything that's going on, I don't think a lot of people know that we have a shortage on our, what's the right word I'm trying to use, like skilled trades, CDLs, plumbers, electric. We have a real shortage right now of those people. Like, people are willing
And
to
that's
pay
something you don't have to go. You don't have to go.
dollar.
You don't have to go like to school loan for it,
And you get, and if you do, you get paid while you're learning.
While you learning.
But it's a shortage for those fields because it's not taught. Like, it's not even talked about.
Well, you got to think.
College. That's it.
We won't have workshop in high school no more.
We did have home ec, right? They don't have that
They don't
now.
have home ec, workshop.
That's a fact.
Home ec is teaching you how to cook and bake and stuff like
Balance checkbooks, cook, so like basic life skills. They don't give anymore, and that's crazy.
that. What we did have was economics, and this taught us all about this. Inflation and recessions. It taught us all about that. So if you did not pay
Facts.
attention, you would not understand that demand and demand and
Look, I'm drawing a blank. I'm with you, but I'm drawing that same blank.
I forgot what it is, but if the demand is high, you can increase the amount that you're paying for. Because so the Federal Reserve has enough money to give every
Supply
single
and
person.
demand. Why was we
That's
drawing
what
the
it is. Supply and demand. So when demand is high, supply is going to be high as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or a lot of times it may be kind of low because
demand is high, supply is low. So
Right.
I'm setting my own price for me now.
Exactly. So now because the demand is so high for it, now you can kind of
Set your own price.
you want to set your own price
Yeah, I'm a plumber.
regardless, but you want to have so many trades. Like I have an uncle who can fix anything in the house. I mean anything.
That's good.
And so I wish I would have been around him more growing up, because then I could have learned a lot of that stuff. And I would have just did that and just had my own company. I'd be living lavish right now.
Fact.
I'd be straight.
It's so many decks that are stacked against us, really, because I'm gonna say something now. It may be deemed as a controversial opinion, but it's opinion nonetheless. My grandmother, when I was growing up, my grandmother was like 60. Right. She done had some years of wisdom to pass down information.
Right.
Right now, it's grandmothers that are 32, 33,
Yep.
34. So they learning at the same time as
Yep.
their
40s,
child.
early
Grandchild.
40s.
So it's not like they have that availability to give us that knowledge.
Right.
I learned about trades from my grandpa. My grandpa was like 70. Schools aren't teaching it. So the secondary, well, to be honest, in my opinion, the first thing should be from your parental figure or your family member, secondary school, but now it's reversed. So if school isn't giving us to us, you should have somebody old enough to give you knowledge on it. But if we all the same age, like, there's no knowledge to be passed down. And I don't think anybody sees that as an issue right now, but you have to live a little bit so that you can have some information to pass on.
It's because they teach you that experience is the best teacher, which it is. But at the same time, if I don't have to take a loss, why wouldn't you teach me something so that way I can skip what you failed at and I can just excel? If you know that you did this, you don't want me to do that. So to avoid that, I can get to the next level quicker.
It takes wisdom, though. Wisdom takes age. It's this lady. She's 36, and her kid is 21. You do the math on that real quick. 36 and 21.
Very young.
That's the same
Y'all
age bracket. You are growing up to get. It's nothing I can give you because we're learning it in real time at the same time. So we don't have a lot of stuff to pass down because we're learning it at the same time. Now, let's say I'm going to use the child's age, 21. If I'm 50 or I'm 46, I have at least 2 decades on you.
Right.
I can tell you what it is, what it was, and what it should be. If we're learning it at real time, that's really hindering us because we're falling and getting back up at the same time. I don't have information to give you. I don't think it's something that people really think about in the grand scheme of things, especially with kids and stuff like that. I know things happen, but we got to put a little bit more thought into our community. They're thinking 10, 15, 20 years ahead, and we like 10, 15 days.
Well, I had my daughter at 22. So I said I had her like she came out of me. I mean, technically she
like
did.
you put in the work.
Technically she did. And I did put in the work. But that's neither here nor there.
Not that kind, bro.
But what I'm teaching her is about just being a good person. I'm teaching her that. I'm teaching her to be a good person. I remember one time this dude was outside asking for money. He was, retired veteran. And that could have just been a lie. But
you said it, bro.
I don't like to see my people struggle.
Facts.
So he's like, I got my wife over here and my daughter and her my grandkids.
Whole family?
And we over here in this hotel and the VA not helping me and blah, blah. So I'm like, okay. He was like, man, I just need $8 to get us something to eat. So, and I'm going to the bank. He in the bank parking lot. And I'm pulling out some money, but I can't pull out $8. So I'm going to just give him this whole 20.
Facts.
So I told my daughter, if you can help somebody and it does not put you in a hole to help them,
help them.
Always help.
You'll be blessed
if it does not, because if they out here asking for it, they obviously need it more than you do. But do never put yourself in a hole helping somebody. Never, ever do that.
That's sound.
It doesn't make sense. You're working backwards.
That's sound advice to give.
Never do that. I said, but always be kind to people because you never know who you might need later on in life.
That's absolutely true.
So always be kind to people. Don't let people walk over you. You got to stand for something now.
That's really important for you to teach her as a black girl turning into a black woman. Oftentimes, we are taught that we're secondary and our first preposition is to care for people. You're a man, so I'm giving you information, but we're taught from age 0 to now, hey, you need to be able to cook, you need to be able to clean, you need to be able to see where this person is lacking, you need to be able to, only then will you be able to focus on yourself. So you teaching her that now, so important, Quavo. So
But
important.
I'm gonna hit you with something.
Hit me with it.
I'm 100% with you.
Okay.
Y'all slick at a disadvantage, kinda.
Slick all the way.
but I mean, at the same time, men, we're taught that you have to do, because we have to do so much for the woman, is like far as keeping her happy. Mm-hmm. You want because you want to try to keep her happy, and it's pushed in your head and drugged in your head and drilled in your head. That's the word I was looking for. Drilled in your head that happy wife, happy life. So it's never like, okay, well, where does my happiness come in? A lot of times it makes it seem like it doesn't matter because she has to be happy, and that ain't fair. But at the same time, when the plane going down and the masks come down, what do the flight attendants tell you? Who you need to take care of first before you help anybody?
Yes, sir.
So that's what I tell my daughter. And I tell my friends that, my female friends, always remember, treat life as if that plane is going down. Facts. And that mask come down. Who you need to take care of first?
And
how you going to help anybody if you goddamn just fucked up?
My analogy that I like to use, if I continuously, I'm a vessel. If I'm pouring into every cup and nobody's refilling me, I'm going to be empty.
Yeah.
I can't help nobody and I can't help myself if I'm empty.
Yeah.
I believe every person, whether male or female, your first focus before you get into and after you're in, you have to take care of yourself. Because think about it. Take the time
to learn you. That's another thing. A lot of people don't know themselves. They don't know their deficiencies and all that type of thing.
Likes, dislikes, an unpopular opinion. I'm going to give it, and I know it's unpopular. You probably done seen it before. Where people say, I need constant reassurance from the person that I'm with. And if I don't get that constant reassurance, then that means they don't love me. It's not my job to validate you. You have to love yourself, know yourself, and be okay with yourself before you get into it. You cannot place that burden on a partner that you're with. I can't be with you and say, I expect you to bring my happiness. I expect you to bring my self-loving. I expect you to do everything that I should be doing internally, or else you failed me. That's such a heavy burden to put on somebody you love.
That's what a lot of us men have to do.
That's intense.
I have to give consistent reassurance, and that's draining to me.
Tiring, draining. It's
exhausting. And it's just like, I have to do that all the time. Now, when you feeling low and I got to pour into you, cool, I'm okay with that.
That's different. That's occasional.
I ain't never seen the Kool-Aid man empty.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying.
Occasional.
Even when I seen the Kool-Aid man pour into people, it's always been just other packs he got.
You know what I'm saying? He had a reserve.
It ain't never him leaning over.
He had a
Kool-Aid jar is always full.
And I don't know. I don't know. I feel like too many people think that that's okay, and it's really not.
Because you have to also, TK, another thing is a lot of people don't take time to learn the other person's love language. So it's really just like only way how I feel loved is this way, but how you love. So what they'll do is what some women do, and when I say,
I'm glad you added that.
But I have to say women, because majority of them don't do it. Mm-hmm. Just because it's not half and half doesn't make it, because it's only unpopular when most don't agree. That doesn't make it wrong, right?
Facts.
So even though you said that it's unpopular, that even though you said what you said was unpopular, it does not make it wrong. You're absolutely right 100%. Just because people don't agree with it doesn't matter. So if I lost my damn train. God damn it. What was we just talking about? What was I just talking about?
Being healed and having self-care before you get into a relationship, expecting your partner to give you that validation, to make you a whole person. That's what we were talking about.
So
it's unfair.
I don't remember what I had.
You remember where you was going with it. You was gonna kill me.
It was gonna be a killer.
You was gonna shut it. You was gonna end the podcast with that right there.
You know what?
That nigga right.
You're right. But just if it's not, that's why when people be like, man, fuck that 50-50, it's 100-100. No, it's not. You got to have 50 to put towards your partner, but you also need something to put back towards you. If you give your partner 100 and you give them 100, y'all relationship may be great, but separately, y'all might just be unhappy.
Not able to thrive, you
Because
think?
if you're not happy with yourself, then how you going to make anybody else happy? And I was single for a long time because I just wasn't happy with myself. I still not the happiest dude with me, but I'm content as of now.
Okay.
I mean, I'm still working on me, so
At least you're able to admit that and say that you're still working on you and you're not expecting your partner to work on you. That's
no.
amazing.
Hell no, I would never put that.
It's such a burden, bro. Could you imagine if every
how
time...
easy it is to love me. Oh, I know what I was talking about now. I know what I was going to say.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
So, it was about the love languages. So, what I was going to say was most women, what they do is teach a guy how to love them.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll do what they'll do to you, like they'll love you in their love language.
Oh my gosh, bro, you right.
I can't even. A lot of women do that. I say women because I've never dated a man, so I don't know if men do it. So it's like they'll do that, and I think that's so
selfish.
I think it's so stupid.
It's stupid.
Because
it's selfish.
Like, okay, we all got different love languages. Mine might not be the same as yours. So with it not being the same as yours, because your love language is gift giving, that's my least love language. I don't have to receive gifts in order to feel loved. Spend some time with me. Give me some booty.
Oh
I'm
straight.
God. That's me. That's all I need. Spend a little time with me. Give me some booty. That's it. And I mean quality time, like we do stuff, or it can just be us in the moment together. It don't matter if we just sitting there watching TV, whatever the case.
And I could touch and agree with you on that because a lot of people's relationships end up lopsided because of that. If my love language is physical and yours is gift giving, I can't give you physical love and expect you to be satiated by that. I have to love you in your language for you to feel loved. You have to love me in mine for me to feel. And a lot of people don't get that. They're just like, I like this, so I'm going to give this to you. Part of actually being in love is taking that time out to learn what your partner likes so that you can provide that safely, securely, lovingly to that person. If you don't, it's disastrous. There is no relationship. Somebody's going to feel misunderstood and somebody's going to feel like they're giving their all when in actuality it's not that, because the other person's love language is not that. So I agree with you on that, and I understand that because it happens a lot.
And I think it's just retarded. I don't. And when women post it, I used to just be like, do you know how stupid you sound?
Bruh.
Why are you going to show me how you want to be loved when that's not my love language? Because we're supposed to
reciprocate each other's love language.
Right. So if I'm giving you your love language, and it's always like, I give what you give, I'm always going off of you. So it's like, you're not going to just, try. I get that you don't want to give all the wife qualities or whatever.
Right
or
away.
all wife benefits. I get that. But you also need to show, if you did make me your wife, I wouldn't be a bad choice. Just like a man has to show that
if I was your husband,
if I was your husband, I got your back.
Yeah.
I can, I ain't gonna hold you. If I met him, if my woman told me that I could be a house husband, then cool. Cool.
The Real House Husbands of Atlanta.
I'm cool. If I could do that, then I'm cool. But she probably wouldn't want that. So it's like, but I've never been the one. I've always gone by, man don't work, don't eat.
Thanks.
So that's what I've always lived by. So whenever I don't have money or I'm not working, I'm not bringing in money like that, I feel less of a man, which is not a good thing, but that's just the way it is.
I feel like a lot of men feel like their purpose is to provide and protect. A lot of them. It's a lot of men that feel like if they're not doing enough or they're not providing or they're not working, that they're not doing their best. And I learned that like over the years. I'm not going to say it's something that automatically came to me, but looking and listening and learning, I found that out. Like, everything else in the world could be going good. You having the sex that you want, the conversation that you want, but if you don't feel like you're providing and protecting, it makes you feel less than. And a lot of women don't understand that.
You got to also remember, though, it's being pushed that, like, even in the Bible, it says that the man is the provider.
That's a fact.
It even says that. So everywhere you look, and, you know, everywhere you you look on Instagram and stuff like that, social media, all that is most women want to do that'll fly them out and spend all this ridiculous money on them, and you know,
tax bracket only.
Yeah. So it's just like I ain't never been the person that just had like just money like that.
Yeah.
My money has always been tied up and stuff, or just paying for stuff, and I'm just maintaining, which I don't try to live outside my means anyway. That's something I don't try to do.
It's levels to it. Nobody should do that.
So, for me, my thing is, okay, what I got on the next dude is I know I can make her laugh. I know she gonna laugh every day. Even if you're mad at me, I'm gonna be able to make you laugh. Every day. You ain't gonna go days where you not laughing about something I done said or something I done did. Because I'm spontaneous. My girl went to St. Martin with her best friend and her family, right? Mm-hmm. So when she got back, I picked her up in my robe only.
You came to the airport nudie.
All I did was put my robe on and I got in the car.
You trying to get butt right there at the airport?
No, I wasn't.
You just wanted her to know what was under there?
I just knew, huh?
You wanted her to know what was under there?
No, I had some drawers on, but you wouldn't know because I had a robe on. But it was like a thick robe, so it was hot.
A high quality robe.
Yeah, it was. Okay. It was definitely a high quality robe. But
what Kevin Samuel said. What did he say?
I feel like you just gotta do stuff that's gonna you gotta do stuff that she'll always remember. Like you gotta do something different than other guys previously, because when you do stuff that's the same as them, you're gonna always automatically get
labeled and lumped into the same category.
Absolutely, because you do something that they did, and then they're gonna expect the same from you. So I'm somebody who always trying to do something different. So she was like, she didn't even recognize it at first until the flight attendant, she bust out laughing. And was just like, what the hell? She was like, what's she laughing at? And then she looked at me and she was like, what's wrong with you?
Okay.
What you mean? You've been gone for a week. What's up? You know what time it is when we get back to the house.
Right here at this airport bathroom.
You know what time it is when we get back to the house. But, I mean, I just feel like, guys, you should just try to... You don't have to try to be different, always be you, but just do something that's unexpected.
Genuine.
Yeah, do something unexpected, and even women too. Y'all do something. Men, we know we don't care about lingerie, but please surprise us with some lingerie.
Baby, if you listening, you hear this?
It don't have to be on your birthday.
You liking all these t-shirts and all this lingerie? You need to listen. All right, go ahead, quick.
If she ain't never done herself, go buy her some. Now she ain't got no excuse. She like, I don't have no lingerie. She don't have no excuse now if you buy her some.
Nothing wrong with
It's just hard to buy for the big bootied women.
Hey man, it's rough.
When they got hips and ass, it's hard to buy. But them the women I like.
These little the lingerie titty cups be for like prepubescent kids or some shit. I don't know why they feel like you gonna have a size 44 ass, but your titty's gonna be a cup. I don't know what they be really thinking about, so it's kind of hard. Get the measurements, fellas, if you do want to do that, because you don't want to come with something that she can't just wear on her arm and then you messed up.
Definitely get the measurements, or if there's someone in the store that's similar to the size of your woman,
that's a good idea.
Have her try on stuff.
You've been thinking. That's a good idea.
I'm thinking about going to go do that myself because I'm okay. I'm not going to have no...
And just lay it out on the bed for her.
Lingerie can get expensive, though.
You got to know where to look. You got to know where to look.
Most men ain't going to automatically just think Victoria's Secret.
Facts. I feel like that's the only... Fredericks is a good place.
I go to...
Victoria's Secret.
I was looking on... what's Rihanna clothing line?
Fenty is good. They coming up. They coming up.
Shit get expensive.
They coming up, but if you look into it, Fredericks of Hollywood, that's a good place to get some lingerie, bro. I think they're online now. It was a major store in California, but like they're online, so you can get it. That's a good place. They're reasonably priced and they're good like products to try. So you look into that. I want to touch on one more thing before we end this podcast. Okay. Hopefully we don't get into a little spiral with it because it's kind of deep.
Okay.
I was watching this video of Cat Williams, and he was explaining why record labels, artists just die unexpectedly. Now, what he said was that record labels take out life insurance policies.
Yeah, I heard about that.
On these artists, and then when they get too problematic, like if the artist say, "Yeah, I want more money than this," or "I want more loyalty rights," they kill them off and collect the payment. What do you think? Do you think there's any truth to that?
I think there is some truth to that, but because so many artists know about owning your masters and stuff like that, a lot of them not taking these 360 deals, which is 360 deals is what when they get with a label, when they give you money up front, every penny they give you, you owe them.
Damn.
That is not money that they're actually giving. They're giving you this money, yes.
It's like a loan.
It's not a signing bonus. No. When you sign and they give you that money up front, so if they give you $750, now you're $750 in the red. You got to think about when you're doing promotions, so you got to add on to that $750,000.
Out of pocket too, most time. Straight up.
That's why a lot of these artists are going independent or being independent
Gucci.
Because it's you get all the money. Facts. You don't want none of these companies because I mean some artists get good deals, some don't. So it's just like it's people like OJ Juice, man. He was talking about his. He was like, man, I never seen a penny of no money.
Damn, that's heartbreaking.
Man, you got TLC.
Oh my god.
TLC, they was getting towed up.
Their story, it was almost like they was paying to be promotion.
Basically.
That was some
They
wild
never got
stuff.
they was getting a penny off every CD sold or something like that.
And I think I have to fight somebody off that.
That's
you just ain't
a penny?
Bro, we're gonna have to scrap in the
a penny
front yard.
and this
Get
CD
your Vaseline.
and this CD about $14?
Abraham Lincoln.
Man, come on, man. But that's people be so excited they don't read contracts.
That's scary though, that they have the ability to take out a life insurance policy and pay somebody to end it when you start asking questions about your money. Like, I believe it.
Well,
I believe it's true.
A lot of some of these rappers probably be, it could possibly be that because see, Young Dolph, he was independent. He was always independent. So I think he might have signed to a record label at one point, but he already had once you establish a good fan base, you don't need to have a record label. The record label is to help you get the fan base or help you with promotion and all that stuff. Like the money you don't have, they can come, but you always owe them that money back. So if you're in the red with that $750, you do really an album and that album doesn't cover that money, you're still in the red.
That's terrible.
So only money you really getting is tour money. So if you're not going on that many tours, that's why a lot of artists be going on tours all the time, because that's where you get all the money. Tour money is your money, but I mean, I'm sure it's some truth to it because some of the ways they be dying, it's just like, bro.
Be intense. Like, you be like, wow, he slipped on a banana peel, fell down the stairs, broke his neck, and then he died. Like, that was crazy.
Like, come on, bro.
Like, it seemed like a setup, like a movie type of deal, but that is scary. And when you look back on artists that died young, right before they died, it's always something about them wanting their masters or wanting more money or wanting a higher percentage of loyalty. So I was like, damn, somebody make sure Cat Williams okay.
You always want to. I mean, you've had examples of comedians and people in Hollywood that just like went crazy because it's a lot of bullshit that be going on, I'm sure, in Hollywood.
Definitely.
It's a lot of bullshit.
Definitely.
It's weird, and I be telling people, like, see, now you go to parties and the drug of choice be weed. When you make it to that, like,
cocaine, heroin,
rich, wealthy, and you at them parties, the choice of the drug of choice is cocaine that's just on the table. And I mean, that's how a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, get into that. It's just there. You have.
It's really wild. I think any up and coming artist should really just weigh their options before signing with somebody, especially knowing that they have the ability to either enhance your life or end it. That's like intense.
I think some of them they be on the record label, and the record label may not feel like they're ever gonna get that money back.
They just off them.
I don't think that's the way with Nipsey, because Nipsey definitely used to talk about how he didn't want to sign a record label because what you make, how they do your contract is what you make independently prior to. So if you sold this amount of units prior to independently, that's how they're going to base your deal. And like I tell you, when they give you that money up front, it's not like that. You owe them that money.
It's
yes,
a loan.
Yes, everything is a loan with those, and none of those companies are owned by us.
That's a fact. You know, a lot
they're
of
all owned by whites or Arabs.
Jewish people own a lot of the major record labels that we know of, and I just found that out like a month ago.
I don't really think they care for us like that.
Nah.
I don't think they really care for us like that.
No, it's not in their best interest. They just like the money that we can provide for the services that we give.
So when a lot of these like rappers be talking about, you know, just not no stupid bullshit.
Like J. Cole and
that's my favorite rapper.
Dang, what's
by
this
far.
guy's
I feel like
name?
everything he get on, he just be
J.
tearing
Cole
that
fire.
shit up.
J. Cole out here wearing a white T-shirt from Hanes from 1996 with some Bobos that look like the shoes you get from jail and some holy sweatpants, living his best life on a bicycle.
Yep.
No Lamborghini, no, $200 million mansion, just being straight cutthroat with it.
I think a $200 million mansion is ridiculous. Anyway, $200 million? No.
Yeah, bro. People be. I don't know. It's the aesthetic. Some people like to look rich.
I know that. Well, see,
and not be rich.
I heard that. I forgot who said it, but somebody said something about when you don't have the freedom, you buy things. You surround yourself with things that feel like freedom.
That's
so
deep.
When you buying the Gucci and you buying a Mercedes, whatever. I think it was Dr.
Umar.
Yeah,
he's so funny.
He is, but he actually do be a lot of stuff he say makes
a lot
sense.
of knowledge.
So when he was saying that, he was like, you surround yourself with he was like, the black
community.
Yes, we bought more Mercedes Benz than anybody else, but you're just buying this stuff because you want to feel like you're free.
To give the illusion of freedom.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my white counterparts can get it, so can I. Look at me.
We don't have, I don't really feel like we have, like, if we wear dreads, we're going to be looked at as thugs or whatever, but you see white people out here wearing our same hairstyles.
They call it boho. Boho chic.
The same hairstyles that we'll wear, it'll be like them wearing it, but they're not going to be looked at
labeled.
Yeah, so
it's trendy for them. Like when they started doing braids.
Man, I said, bro, y'all late on them Queen Latifah braids.
Man, that was a wild time. I remember the Kardashians saying they invented that. I was like, what?
Bro, y'all are so late on them set it off braids.
That was a wild time.
Bro, we done did the Allen Iverson braids and
all that.
The Trail Speedwells and all that.
Bro, I was sick on them Allen Iversons, I promise you.
Bro, I ain't used to get them all that, because I used to get the Allen Iversons because that shit just took too long. I used to have to sit on the floor and get my hair braided.
But it was wonderful.
It took too long.
Man, you did have hair at one point.
I had hair.
That was wild.
The fact that you said you had hair at one point.
It was a long time.
I had hair majority of my life.
But it's
I've been bald headed for 6 years.
But it's like crazy to me thinking back on it, because now this your look. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So now that's all I associate you with. So thinking back to the time where you had hair, and you did.
I had braids
and I remember.
No.
I remember that. My memory's working. You did. Mr. Angry.
Yeah.
Bro, that's
Had braids in
wild.
middle school.
That's wild.
Hair was pretty long too, and then I got some of this Georgia heat.
That's what
Well,
did it.
I was outside playing basketball one day in the neighborhood. Called my mom and said, "Mom, I want to cut this off. It's too hot for this hair."
That's a fact, bro.
She was like, "Huh? You sure?" I'm like, "Yes. It's entirely too hot for this hair, Mom. I can't. It's just, it's too long."
That's a fact.
Only way I can, like, my hair's not hot is when my hair is
feel
done
like
all the time.
Hair is a ghetto thing to have in the summertime. Hair, titties, clothes, ghetto things
Bruh,
to have in the
every
summertime.
woman say something about having titties.
Bro, you don't understand.
I don't.
Understand.
That's why when you get in the house, I put them in my mouth.
Bruh.
That is why
It's
when
intense.
she gets in the house, I try to put them in my mouth every day.
It's intense. I don't know how big your girl breasts are, but like, bro.
She's like a 36 double D or something like that.
Okay, because I'm a G. Okay.
Okay. Wow.
You get what I'm saying? So like, it's real heavy shit going on right
Yeah,
now.
I know it because of
And
back problems and stuff like that.
You see how I'm sitting over here? Well, I'm trying to rest them joints on my knees. Like, please, Lord, take the pressure off,
Boy,
God,
it just-
please. Wintertime, I'm alright, but in the summertime, it's like, please, don't even
You be sweating over
entertain
there.
this.
and-
I throw the baby powder under there and flip a towel under there and just be like, yeah, man, I'm alright. Just don't talk too loud.
Man,
I will be alright.
that's fucking crazy and hilarious at the same
I
time.
mean, y'all
But-
have a luxury.
No, but this summer has been like ridiculous.
Climate
it ain't been this
change,
hot
global
in
warming.
a while. It ain't been this hot in a while. And I mean, it's 90s.
Global warming for sure.
It's 90s every day.
At 7 a.m.
No, by 10 though, for sure by 10 o'clock that
Right.
bitch be hot.
It's intense. It's intense.
And
Definitely.
I just be like, bro, and I work out in the sun every day, so
Oh, you work out in the sun?
yeah. When I be delivering appliances, so I be
I
having
feel
to
it.
get them off the back of the truck.
That's a fact.
And I work by myself.
Hard
So-
working.
I be having. Oh, so I mean, just it be intense. Like, folks will be like, they be like, "You working by yourself?" I'm like, "Yeah." They be like, "Bless your heart." I'm like, "Well, I'd rather work by myself because, for one, y'all be more likely to give me a tip, and two, because these younger dudes, I sound like the old nigga now, but these younger dudes really don't be no help. It really don't be no help. It be bad. Like, dudes used to be working with me and they'll just help me get off the back of the truck and then that's it. I don't see them no more till they get back in the truck. Bro, what help are you? You're not making my life no easier.
A lot of people don't like manual labor anymore. Labor, not label, but labor.
I mean, I get it.
I always say
If I
work
didn't have to,
smart.
then- If I ain't have to, then I wouldn't.
That's a fact, but I mean, it's not a bad thing.
Nope.
It's not a bad thing at all. But, Quavo, I want you to know that I appreciate you so much for coming today.
No doubt.
I look forward to having you again.
I'll be back, don't worry. Because even if it don't go like how we planned it to go, I will be back. I am
Facts.
fine with doing this once a week.
Period.
And we good.
Period.
We-
Effortlessly.
We talk about these type of things every
in
single
our
day.
everyday life.
So
We're
if
pretty
we,
cool.
I mean, we can never run out of topics because all we got to do is just go to IG,
Man, bro,
And
that's something else. That is something
look
else.
on there and pick just something to talk about.
Facts. But like 2022 has been so crazy, we're gonna always have a topic.
Definitely.
We'll
Definitely,
always have
for
a topic.
sure.
But thank y'all so much for joining us tonight, and I hope y'all have a good week.